Servus Männer, it's Red Pill Germany again. So I recently made a video in which I talked about a popular referendum in Switzerland and how it failed. It was a referendum in which the Swiss People's Party, SVP, they tried to take back control over their immigration and also to limit and basically regulate better the immigration into Switzerland. That failed, and in the comments under the video I got the impression that a lot of my listeners have the impression that Switzerland is somehow this libertarian-based nationalist country or something like that, that attracts maybe a lot of high-skilled workers, but not a lot of other people, travelers that are motivated by other things than wanting to build a life for themselves with hard work in their host country, in their destination of choice. Yeah, there are some misconceptions here, I think. I know Switzerland has this reputation still with the Swiss banking secret, and you know, they all have their rifles in their cabinets at home, and they all served in the army, and they have direct democracy, and they're so proud of their country, and they're the most based and red-pilled country in Europe and all that stuff, yeah. Maybe next to Poland and Hungary, I don't know, but and it's also not a part of the evil European Union, so Switzerland must be the absolute heaven for European patriots and nationalists. That is of course not at all the case. These are misconceptions. Of course, Switzerland is an open country to immigration. This is why there was this referendum in the first place, and it's also not that they don't have a welfare state or that their welfare state wouldn't be open to migrants. Of course, I also want to thank my supporters and my subscribers. If you like this kind of material, please like, share and subscribe, and consider making a donation via PayPal or support me via Patreon or Subscribestar. And I also have a little bonus for you guys. This flower here is called Higanbana, and that is named after the festival of Ohigan, which was just recently now in Japan, and this is around the time when, of course, it blooms. It is really, really red, really, really nice, looks awesome, I think, and Ohigan is around, or is the autumnal equinox. That means day and night have the same duration, and that is, of course, an important holiday, just like Obon, which is in summer. Before that, that is when you when you honor your ancestors or when you think that the ancestors are close to you. At Obon, they come back. I made a video about that. But Ohigan, you also think about them, I guess. And this flower is just really, really nice, I guess. And it blooms now everywhere here. Okay, all right. There is an article in the link down below. I don't want to give all the details now, but it is a big family with many children from a Levantine so a country from the Levant that starts with the letter S. And they flew to Zurich by plane. And now they live in Switzerland on welfare, of course. They get 1,800 Swiss francs. If I don't remember that incorrectly now, you can check the article, it's all in there. And they say, well, we get by, but we don't live a luxurious life here. So they even complain that they don't get enough money here in Switzerland, or there in Switzerland, I should say. Of course, I'm not in Switzerland. I never lived in Switzerland. I visited once or twice, and I'm not an expert on it, but I can give you these basic facts about the country. And I also know that there were recently demonstrations against certain hygiene measures of the government, and let's just say they also um, arrested peaceful protesters there. So the authoritarianism, the totalitarianism, yeah, they have a different style. There is a different face, a different public face they show, and it's all appearances. But in the end, it's the same story. And the same with Austria. Like, you think that Kurz is so based and red-pilled and he's so hard on migration. No, Kurz is the same as Merkel. He just performs a little bit different in public. It's all good cop, bad cop. It's the same thing. And they will all be replaced, all of them. Yeah, in Vienna now, the young school children, Austrians are already a minority there among that demographic, which leads the way into the future. This is the future generations in Vienna, that there will be a foreign majority in the capital of Austria. So if you think that Germany is so cocked and Austria and Switzerland, they're so based and red-pilled, no, it's the same thing, the very same thing. And yeah, as I said, they also have a welfare state, they also have open borders. Foreigners also can claim welfare there, and they do, and they come by plane. So it's the same thing. All right, I just wanted to clarify that, and I think I should add also with the Swiss banking secret. Yeah, this is a thing of the past. If you think that you can have a Swiss bank account and the government can't get to you or something, yeah, then you are wrong. There was a CD, yeah, that's for the younger audience, a CD it is a storage medium where you can store like 700 to 800 megabytes of data, and a CD with names of clients was illegally obtained from a Swiss bank, and that CD was sold to the tax authorities in Germany, and Germany paid for that CD and used it. Yeah, this is a criminal act, of course, but the Germans did that in order to get the list of the people who have an account at a certain Swiss bank. And also, by the way, it's not the Germans only, it is the Americans. The Americans were pivotal. They were absolutely instrumental here in breaking the Swiss banking secret. So I don't know the full story, but I could imagine that they did the same thing as with Nord Stream 2 now. They just say, if you don't do what we want, we basically ban you from access to our market, and American banks and American companies are no longer allowed to work with you, and then there you go. You don't need a military, you don't need anything like that, you don't need hard threats. It's enough that you threaten a little bit with sanctions and with banning them from other world markets, and that does the trick normally. So Per Steinbrück, I think it was, a social democrat from Germany, when it was about Swiss and their Switzerland, and I think it was even about the banking secret, I'm not so sure anymore, some EU compliance stuff, and he said, well, the cavalry doesn't need to ride out. The Indians just need to know that the cavalry is there. And that was, I think, led to a little bit of outrage in Switzerland, because it was basically threatening them with the military, but or with some sort of attack, which was, of course, meant just figuratively. But yeah, Mr. Steinbrück could have been a little nicer and shown more tact, and maybe also some understanding of European history. But yeah, he said that, a social democrat, you know, a left-winger, and he threatened Switzerland in that way. Very nice. So yeah, as I said, I just wanted to clarify that by no means is Switzerland this based country where all these proud patriots are, who protect their borders and have their secret bank accounts and their rifle at home, and you know, it's really not like that. It's the same thing, just good cop and bad cop. It's all a stage play, it's all theater for the masses. Angela Merkel, Kurz, or Swiss politicians, I don't know the name now, but yeah, it's all the same. So once again, I'm not an expert, I just wanted to give these basic facts out. And if you are from Switzerland and you agree or disagree, it's always very valuable to have people from those countries I talk about here. And I should also say with these, because there was one comment, and I think I should add that still at the end, there was one comment that said maybe Switzerland attracts more these hardworking, highly intelligent people with a lot of education, like doctors and engineers. Yeah, that's true. So Switzerland attracts all sorts of people. Switzerland attracts these high earners, these people with university degrees, because you can make a lot of money there. And it also attracts the welfare travelers. It attracts all of them together. But is that now better? So for example, if you study medicine in Germany, you get your medical doctorate in Germany, you don't pay a single cent. That means you are debt free when you have your doctorate in medicine, when you study in Germany. It's all tax funded. So now you go to the UK or the US or to Switzerland, boom, you make a lot of money. And the people who studied medicine in the US, they're normally 100K, 200K or even more in debt, depending on where they studied and how long it took them and blah, blah, blah. But you have a huge advantage compared to those people who studied in those countries if you just do that in Germany and then jump ship. Haha, it's maybe not social, it's kind of antisocial, it's kind of system surfing in a way. You get the taxpayer funded education in Germany and then you go to a country where you get the high wages or you make a lot of bank. So a lot of people do that. This is why the German doctors who don't have family here or other reasons why they want to stay in Germany, a lot of them go to Switzerland, a lot of them go to the UK, a lot of them go to the US, and this is what you see. But Switzerland also attracts these colorful people from all over the world that go on welfare then and that have all their children there. And by the way, if you read that article, it's so funny. The interviewer asks, yeah, what about your family? Can you take them to Switzerland? And they say, no, unfortunately, with our visa, we cannot take them to Switzerland. But so they got a visa even though they entered illegally. That's so funny. Huh? I mean, according to EU rules, at least, it would have been illegal. Maybe Switzerland has their own rules. But anyway, so, and then they say, yeah, my entire family still lives down there in the Levant and they're okay so far. So their entire family still lives there and is basically okay. But we're supposed to believe that they're kind of persecuted and they need protection. And no, of course not. Their entire family still lives there and they're okay. Yeah, I mean, why should they be here and go on welfare? There's no, I don't get it. I absolutely don't understand it, but the German politicians have their own agenda, of course. They have their own plans with these people. They are tools in their scheme, and that's what's going on. All right, I just wanted to let you know. And if you have any comments, any questions, or if you are from Switzerland, then please, please leave a comment down below. Servus, Kameraden.